A very good afternoon, Mr. Lim Seong Guan, President of GIC, Ms. Sia Gek Chu, Talent Leader, Deloitte Singapore, Deputy Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, and ex-official board member of NVPC, Mr. Hugh Lim, I think he's, Ms. Teresa Fu, Chairman of SPF Foundation. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to today's Company of Good Network Dialogue session entitled Corporate Giving and Millennials. Why should companies care? We are on time and we have almost 200 people in the room on a Wednesday afternoon. I think that itself is worth celebration. How about a nice big round of applause? My name is Ricardo. I am a social entrepreneur. I run an event agency called Adrenaline, and it tries to use events to do some good. And it is an amazing, amazing privilege for me to be here as your MC for today. Because I do this for a living, I had to ask NVPC to give me a small stipend to be here. Right? But what NVPC does not know is that I would have paid money to be here, because this is such an amazing gathering of people, of thought leaders, and it's such a relevant topic for discussion today. Just as a quick poll of the audience, millennials, could you just sort of show me, you've all got your little boards, right? Could you just take out your boards? Can I just sort of look at the audience and say the millennials, i.e., if you were born in 1980 to 2000, all right? 80 to 2000, 1980 to 2000, right? So once again, if you don't want to raise your board, that's fine, okay? You don't want to raise this, that's fine. Okay, here we go. Millennials, put up your board, please. Millennials. Oh, that's great. Non-millennials, put up your board, please. That's fine. Okay, yeah. So some of you don't quite get the, yeah, okay, so this is yes, this is no, okay? Yeah. All right. So I turned 34 in a few days, so I just about qualified to be your MC for today. And it's, again, really a great privilege, because today we are going to have a few things. Right? NVPC is going to talk to you about the Company of Good program, something that I strongly urge everyone to consider joining. We are going to hear from Deloitte and their latest millennial survey. And one of the highlights, I think, today is the panel dialogue and discussion, where we have assembled 6 really, really wonderful speakers. And I think let's make sure we tap on their brains and we have a wonderful conversation today. Today's session is brought to you by the National Volunteer and Philanthropy Centre, NVPC, in partnership with the Singapore Business Federation Foundation, SPF Foundation. Without them, this would not have been possible. Let's give them a nice big round of applause, please. So why are we speaking about millennials? Right? Millennials form a growing part of the workforce today. The Deloitte Millennial Survey 2016 found that, millennials express little loyalty to their current employers, and many are planning near-term exits. We'll hear a little bit more about that later. Millennials expect businesses also to focus more on people, products, and purpose, and perhaps a little bit less on profits. But this also offers organizations an opportunity to engage millennials in a different way. So today we get to explore this opportunity and possibility. Let us now begin. Just before we begin, I'd like to thank our event partners, Deloitte, Asia Pacific, Breweries Singapore, the Social Pantry, our non-profit organizational partners, Cycling Without Age, Daughters of Tomorrow, Meta Association, Minds, and Waterway Watch. And to kick off today's program, can you please join me in a warm round of applause to welcome Ms. Melissa Kwee, CEO of NVPC, to deliver the welcome remarks.
Pleasure. Good afternoon, everyone. There is really no formal presentation other than just to very sincerely welcome you here today. This is actually one of the series of conversations that we're convening as part of the Company of Good initiative to bring together corporates, nonprofits to be to learn from one another, to share experiences, and really just to think about how do we change the world together. We have a huge belief actually that by bringing people together around purpose, around passion, around causes, is going to create that transformational change that I think we all want to see and all want to be part of. This conversation today really came out of a small post conversation from the Company of Good lunch, and I just want to thank Mr. Lim Seong-Gwan, who's actually very kindly agreed to also be with us today, for that little bit of inspiration. In fact, his question to me after we launched Company of Good in June was around, where are the young people? Where are the young people in this conversation? And actually, when we went back and we thought, you know what? He's absolutely right. Because if we think about who's going to be driving our organizations going forward, and who actually is going to be probably the majority of our workforce pretty soon. Actually, it's the millennials. Do you know what percentage or how many millennials there are in our workforce at the moment? Anyone have a guess? Want to take a guess at that? Around 35%? Any other guesses out there? 40, 50. Actually, it's a little closer to that. There's a little bit over 1 million millennials in our workforce right now. And as you know, with different generations, there are different values, different perspectives, different priorities, actually, too. So today really gives us that opportunity to understand really from, the thought leader in the millennial space. That's Deloitte, our knowledge partner today. So thank you so much again, Gek Chu, for that. I mean, anyone talking about millennials will always reference the annual Deloitte, millennial survey, which I think has been around for around five years right now. So thank you both, and thank you Keith, thank you Cheryl, thank you Rebecca, thank you Richardo for coming to actually just join us in the conversation a little later. So one of the things we notice actually from Company of Good is that most companies, in fact, a staggering 78%, actually do participate in some form of corporate giving. But we also tend to notice is that the nature of that participation is very shallow, and it's very transactional. We'll support a charity dinner here, we'll do a golf game there, we'll do a sponsorship here, but it's not necessarily consistent, impact-oriented, or even just thinking about ultimately, is this a sustainable effort? And so what the Company of Good is really trying to do is introduce a 4I framework, which my colleague Sheehan will explain in a little while, to think about how can businesses integrate corporate giving more fundamentally into how they do their business. So I will leave all the details of that to Sheehan to share. Really just us, I think lastly want to invite you all to participate in Giving Week at the end of the year. We envisage it as that time of year when everybody in Singapore has a chance to either give or be given to, and we work with companies because you touch so many customers, employees, every single day, and we would love to see, Giving Week be like Valentine's Day or Christmas, where it really becomes something that everybody celebrates and is part of, and is part of making a national feature of Singapore. I was told the other day that by the wife of our Singapore ambassador to the U.S. That a speech was made at the UN towards the end of last year. About kind of giving cultures, and there's an international sort of UN sort of supported day called Giving Tuesday, which was the origins actually of Giving Week for us here in Singapore, and the founder of Giving Tuesday, who's I think the head of the 92nd Street YMCA in New York, basically specifically mentioned Singapore as the gold standard for actually celebrating giving, because beyond just the Giving Tuesday, which followed, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, was actually Giving Tuesday. And he said, and it just made us feel so great that they actually just really recognized, Singapore as being one of the leaders in that space. And, it's not huge yet. but we really want to invite you to be part of that, to make that something we can all be incredibly, incredibly proud of. So let me just say thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you to all our speakers, to our hosts. Thank you so much, SBFF, for being our partner with the Company of Good. And we just look forward to a great day two. Please go out and check out all of the nonprofits that are outside. They could be your partner. They could be your co-agent in change going forward. So thank you once again.